Thanks for joining us on Locked On Jayhawks. And again, thank you to the everydayers catching each and every episode of the show. All right, our running back room overview. We're going to start with our starter possibilities. I think that would be two players. The first is Daniel Hishaw Jr., who I think is the favorite to be the starter for KU football. 5'10", 220-pound redshirt senior. He has almost 1,500 career rushing yards, 5.3 career yards per carry, 18 touchdowns, which low-key, if he gets 5 this season, which you would expect him to as long as he stays healthy, that would get him into the top 5 at KU all-time in career. Also like 900 rushing yards gets him into the top 10 on that, ahead of Puka Williams, who's just hanging on in the top 10. And Hishaw, obviously this power running back, I'm excited for what he could do in the future role. No Devin Neal. Big question for Hishaw is just going to be, can he stay healthy? And can he not fumble the football? He's had some fumbling issues in the past. Leshon Williams is the other guy that transferred from Iowa, 5'10", 215-pound redshirt senior. I think he'll be the backup to Hishaw, but he's probably still going to get a lot of carries, right? Could be kind of a 1A, 1B situation. Williams, 5'10", 215-pound redshirt senior, over 1,300 career rushing yards, 4.2 per carry, 3 touchdowns. I could see a world. I mean, if Hishaw is struggling with fumbling football, Williams presents a more safe opportunity. Hishaw is more of your explosive guy, and Hishaw is probably more of your goal line guy with the ability to get to the end zone. But if Hishaw can hold on to the football, he could legitimately be an all Big 12 running back. That's how talented this guy is. I mean, he was on the freaks list that Bruce Feldman did for the Athletic. Now, players battling for the 2 deep. If the 2 deep is from a literal sense, 2 guys, it'll be Hishaw and Williams. I feel very confident that that'll be the case. However, sometimes we see Kansas do this. They'll say Hishaw or Williams for the number 1 running back. And because they do an or, they'll be like, okay, well, then we'll show you what the backup spot is to that. And if that ends up happening, then I think it ends up being one of Harry Stewart III or Johnny Thompson. So Stewart was a 3-star recruit, 88 rated in his class. He's a redshirt freshman, 5'10", 215 pounds. And then Thompson, a 5'11", 200-pound redshirt sophomore, was an 87 rated 3-star. Thompson has another year of experience and in the system on his belt as Stewart. Stewart's slightly higher rated at the high school level, though it's kind of splitting hairs between the two. It'll be very interesting to see who wins out on that battle because, sure, there's going to be some carries for the 3rd-string running back. There always is for Kansas, but it's more so about Williams and Hishaw are both seniors. So whichever guy wins out that 3rd-string running back battle has the leg up, clearly, to be the starting running back in 2026. And then your future guys to watch, obviously Stewart and Thompson, to that notion. John Kelly, who's a 6'1", 190-pound freshman, 87 rated 3-star. Justin Thurman, 6'1", 190-pound true freshman. Both those guys incoming true freshmen, 86 rated 3-star there. Could they factor in to the future starting running back for KU? And then you have Micah Johnson, 5'10", 200-pound redshirt freshman. Jack Schneider, 6'3", 195-pound redshirt sophomore on the roster as well to help out during practice and with depth for the team. I think the biggest questions and storylines for the running back room, it has to be the health and the fumbling, right? With Hishaw, he's had some injuries in the past. You just hope he stays healthy and can have that great season that you expect from him. He can go off, get drafted into the NFL and accomplish all of his goals. But health has been a question there. With Leshon Williams, I don't know how much he was beat up last year, how much was just getting beat out by Caleb Johnson, but I think he's had to deal with some injury stuff too. And then with young players, it's like you just don't know where that's going to be. As far as the fumbling, yeah, same with young players. You don't know how it's going to be, and that's maybe more of a question just for Daniel Hishaw. I think another question here from the running back room, what's Kansas going to get from the running back room in terms of receiving the ball? Devin Neal was a pretty good receiver. It didn't always, show up as like 5 catches per game, but like he had some good games receiving. Hishaw only has 12 career catches. Now, funny enough, Daniel Hishaw's probably most memorable highlight is off a reception, but only 12 throughout his career. Williams has more throughout his career, but the most he's ever had in a season is 12, which still is not that much. So what is Kansas going to get receiving from the backfield? Do we see a player do we see Emmanuel Henderson, who's a former high school running back, flex into the backfield, or a guy like Cam Pickett there? Do we see one of those young freshmen, Harry Stewart, Johnny Thompson, maybe somebody who's, super fast and electric? Because maybe some of those guys are quicker or faster than Hishaw and Williams, who are maybe a little bit more pounders and rumblers. Do we see that? And so I think the final thought here with running back, if Hishaw stays healthy and avoids fumbling issues, I think he can be an all Big 12 level running back. He's got the athleticism, he's got the strength, he's got the power. I think he's going to get the usage and on an offense that likes to run the football. If either of those things plagues him, I think Williams going to be set up for a nice year. He's steady. He doesn't have quite the explosion maybe as a Hishaw or a Devin Neal before him or Puka Williams or whatever, but I think he'll just be a steady back and somebody you can rely upon. And so this room is not going to be Devin Neal, but this should still be a solid room. This should still be a good enough room for you to accomplish all your goals and do everything you want to this season. And I'm really excited that I hope Hishaw can stay healthy so he can have that season where he puts it all together, because you know the talent is burgeoning from this senior running back. All right, that'll do it for this episode of Locked On Jayhawks. You can find our show anywhere you get your podcast, including on our YouTube page, where you can like and subscribe to the show. See you next time for LOJ.